Hey guys, back with another video. Today I wanted to talk about Coinbase as an investment. Now, it's not one of my largest positions, but I wanted to talk about why I do think it is a good buy and why I'm buying it. I actually bought it before this big run-up that it had recently. But the main thing I wanted to talk about was how when we're talking about stocks, one way that you can make a really good return is when you buy a stock that has a low multiple, and the market later on, when everyone is more bullish on that stock or on that industry, decides that actually this business deserves a much higher multiple. So for example, Tesla is a perfect example of this, where when I started buying it in like 2017-ish, I think they had around like maybe a price to sales multiple of like 2 or something like that. Everybody was like, oh, it's just a car company, it should be valued like a car company, not to mention it might go bankrupt, so it deserves this really low price to sales multiple. But then that narrative changed, and now a lot of people are like, oh, it's obviously a tech company, it doesn't have car company margins, especially when it's more mature, it's going to have much more tech company like margins, not to mention it's not going to go bankrupt, and they're just growing at an insane rate, especially for how big they are. So now they have a much higher multiple, and not only did they have a much higher multiple, but the business has grown as well. So it's like you get the benefit of the multiple growing and the benefit of the business growing, and it's just like multiplies on top of itself. So that's how, in my opinion, that's one of the best ways to get really high returns in the stock market. Now I think we're in a similar situation with Coinbase, where the sentiment obviously in cryptocurrency is just so low. So, and you've got businesses like Voyager, Celsius that have gone bankrupt. So there's just so much low sentiment, lack of belief in these crypto exchanges. There's other narratives too, like their profitability is going to go away. That one I think has, may be true, but I don't know when that's going to happen. But anyways, it has a really low multiple. I think it's around a 2 price to sales. And if you look at its historical growth, that's just absolutely absurd. Even if their profitability does go down, just from the sheer growth, if you're looking at the past, 4+ years in the business, if it continues anything close to that, then it's just so cheap at like a price to sales of 2 or something like that. So, and then if on top of that, if their multiple does increase to, say, I don't know, a 10 price to sales, I could see it going even higher than that. But then if it increases to 10 price to sales, while the sales continue to explode at the rate that they've been exploding for the past 4+ years, which I'm sure it'll slow down at least a little bit. But then I think we have another Tesla type scenario where the fact of the multiple expanding and their revenue growth continuing to expand, I think you really have like a potential 10-bagger, potential more on our hands with Coinbase. I think at the very least, it should outperform Bitcoin, probably outperform Ethereum as well. And it's more diversified than just holding Bitcoin, holding Ethereum. It's just a bet on cryptocurrency in general. And obviously the management of Coinbase, but they've been around for a while. So I don't think you can compare them to these companies like Celsius, Voyager. Like Coinbase is one of the OGs, and obviously it's been managed well because it's still one of the top exchanges. So those are my thoughts on Coinbase, why I'm buying, and why I'm bullish. I'm pretty excited about it. Again, it's more complicated than that. You also have to know about the management, but I really think it has huge potential upside. So those are my thoughts. If you like the video, subscribe, leave a like. See you next video.